I like
Um,
it.
yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of rundown. I want to ask. We kind of just kind of went through them. Well, let's do this first. Let's do this first. We talked a little bit about injuries. What
Oh
teams?
man,
What team? Yeah, what teams here were really impacted by injuries?
I had 4 players got injured. They were not
Four
playing.
players got injured. You mentioned okay, James Conner. He's
Connor,
coming back though. I think no,
Sutton,
Dina.
Galladay,
Let me look.
Oh, he's on a roll. We'll let him keep going here.
and I have one more. I can't remember his name. Dino, help me out.
Okay, so the big
Lindsay,
Lindsay.
injuries,
Philip
Yeah,
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
That was the fourth one. Was Lindsay.
big injuries around the league right now. So we're looking at, again, I want to go back to Michael Thomas. We're not sure how
Mm-hmm.
long he's going to be out with that injury there, but he is doubtful right now for this next week.
Yeah, it's tough with a first round pick.
High ankle sprain. That's tough to come back for. So that was, yeah, his first round pick there.
Yeah, Mark.
Um,
That's Mark's player. Yeah.
Mark's player. So James Conner. That's you know, hopefully everybody has their waiver claims in before they listen to this podcast over
What do
here.
you?
Benny Snell.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna have it
Um,
by yeah
Mike Tomlin
after.
had says that he trusts Benny Snell here. That he says that he believes
Mm-hmm.
he can be a bell cow back here.
I've
So
heard some people
but
saying
He had
that
a
on
hundred
ESPN.
rushing yards.
Mm-hmm. What's
that
up?
might
Yeah.
be somebody that you do want to pick up there.
Yeah.
Um, talking to, well, you get to pick before me, Guillermo, but
Yeah.
I'm good with my running backs. I got Zeke and
I
Josh
think I'm
Jacobs there, the one
fourth.
and two
Yeah.
running backs in the league right now. So first
Yeah.
two picks paying off.
I mean,
Um,
just looking at Mark's team real quick, he put up 55 points. I mean, what does he need to do to recover? Do you think? I mean, we talked about Le'Veon Bell a little bit, and we talked about Michael Thomas. I mean,
so yeah, Le'Veon Bell, he's going on IR. So what's different about this season is IR is only 3 weeks.
okay,
So you don't have to decide between the short term, long term IRs here. It's
I see.
with 3 weeks here, so they can shut him down to heal his hamstring there, see how he is, but still the Jets offense, I don't know. Mark was I spoke with him some and he said that he was really relying on him to be his bell cow back there. Um,
Yep.
so he has that. His second running back, his RB2 here is Tevin Coleman. So he's kind of the
Yeah.
second man in the backfield there
Mm-hmm.
behind Raheem Mostert. I
Tevin
remember
Coleman is
during the
always
draft.
splitting a lot, right?
Yeah,
It's just one of those guys in the league.
yeah. So well, Mostert proved himself
Yeah.
last year, so they decided to, I guess, give him the chunk of the carries here.
Mm-hmm.
A
So
big receiving touchdown too.
was
This
oh yeah,
past game.
yeah, the
Yeah.
76 yarder. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was big for him there. He did get the bulk of the carries. I think he got 15 carries, and then Tevin Coleman and Jerick McKinnon combined for 8. So,
Right.
seeing a good share of the backfield carries there. Evan Ingram, he dropped a few,
Yeah.
which was disappointing watching there. I really needed that Steelers defense to not put up that many points.
Yeah.
Almost pulled it off, but yeah, for Mark, he's probably looking for a running back here, and
Yeah.
his receivers are great. I mean, maybe he'd be able to shop somebody around the league there.
Yeah.
It's only coming into week 2 here. He does have Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill, so
He has T.Y. Hilton on his
it
bench. I
it
mean,
it
it's a
is
name,
possible.
you know.
Yeah, that he'll be able to maybe get out a good running back
Yeah.
from one of those two. And in the meantime, though, Michael Thomas is going to be sitting with that injury most likely.
Yeah.
Also, Blake Jarwin, who of course Mark is crazy about.
It's also
So
just mm,
he got banged up there, his knee, so he's on IR. That was his torn ACL. So that was, as a Cowboys fan, that was disappointing to see. Also,
yeah. Situations like this, I think, are always tough in our league because we traditionally are just like a really conservative trading league as far as trading goes. I
Veto.
mean, veto, or no, I don't really want this, or no, and then oh, collusion. Then it's pretty tough to get a trade off. And there's a lot of reasons. And I think a lot of people see a fair trade as like, oh, that means it's hurting the rest of us, right? Because they're improving their teams, so that means we're being affected negatively.
It should be interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
how many guys around the league have messed with on the ESPN app. At least it
Mhm.
has a trade assistant built
Yeah.
in there. Not the best trades from what I've noticed so
Yeah,
far.
same.
But it does suggest it gives you a value score and a
Mhm.
fairness score. So
Right,
that's
right.
something maybe the guys want to check out, see if anything can be proposed straight from there. That'd be pretty funny. The last thing that I do want to note here, and this actually I hadn't noticed, could have turned the tide for Jose. So Jose started Marlon Mack, right, and Austin started Jonathan Taylor. He saw
Yeah.
definitely some more touches there because Marlon Mack did go out with that injury there. So
Hmm.
we'll see what and he's out for the season here most
Yep.
likely, and unless he decides to come back at the very end. But an Achilles, that's yeah, you expect him to be done for the year there.
Hmm.
It'll be interesting to see who Jose fills in that slot with.
Yeah.
He had the only other running backs on his roster. He has Adrian Peterson, who did see did actually see the bulk of the carries there. He went 14 for 93 and then 3 receptions for 21 yards. It's pretty good
Pretty
for him.
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Just joining the Lions there, and he is still banking on Devontae Freeman to be signed by a team and be a good number 2 for him behind Nick Chubb there.
Nice. Yeah. Let's get one. We talked about injuries, and kind of injuries kind of led to like what teams are looking good, what teams are kind of maybe, kind of trying to, or maybe might have to recover, and what they need to do. Let's do like one from each of you, or sort of. What teams do you guys, besides your own, of course, what teams do you guys think are looking good? And I think I have mine also already, just right off the top of my head, that I really like this guy's team, and we've mentioned it already, but you
Yeah,
guys
for
take a
sure.
second and what's up?
Well, Nestor's team looked real good.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, Nestor's team looked really good.
Gabe, I agreed completely.
I think I regretted saying this last week. I said, yeah, other than my own, I still like my team the best here. But yeah, Nestor gave it to me.
Well, and we mentioned too, we're like, if this team does what it looks like it wants to do, it's going to be great. And it did what it needed to do this week. It really showed up. Yeah. It's good stuff. And it doesn't look like a fluke or crazy stuff. It looks like a solid team. I mean, it looks like...
who's his team? Call him out.
We've got Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
And he has Gardner Minshew on his bench there. So probably going to be starting Stafford for most of the year here. His running backs are Kamara and David Johnson. So David Johnson,
Great running backs.
did have a chance to show that he still has something there. I assume that he's going to be a big receiving threat like he used to be. And then his receivers, of course, you had DeAndre Hopkins for 14 for 151. So yeah, that's a big one for him right there.
Sprinkle some
and then
touchdowns in there,
Sammy
like
Watkins is number 2. That's 7 receptions for 82 and a touchdown. His other receivers are Tyler Boyd and Marvin Jones. So that's all of those, I think, are a decent in a 12-man league. All of those are a decent plug and
definitely
play right there. Zach Ertz, people were a little bit disappointed that he only had 3 for 18 and a touchdown. Still got 7 points for him. We'll see if he, what the news is on Dallas Goedert. Some rumblings going around. Maybe he's going to be the guy now. But I mean, it's only 1 week. He's got the Steelers D, who were I believe the number 1 defense or number 2 defense last year to end the season. So they put up good 13 points for him. And then McManus only 2 points.
That was the biggest letdown.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that one. I said a couple I put a hex.
Yeah,
on
does did you jinx him? What are you talking?
Yeah, that was me. I only got so much out of it. They decided to sack Daniel Jones a few too many times for me there. Pick him off a couple times. Otherwise, I could have had that. But yeah, Nestor's team is looking very solid.
I mean, I love Nestor's team. I love it because only one of his players scored above 20 points, right? His highest scoring player scored 32 points. That was his quarterback. But the numbers just added up. I mean, he had 30. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Am I looking at the right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he did have high numbers, but I mean, his quarterback didn't break 40, and the rest of his players didn't break 20, and it still added up to. Is that the highest score this week? Yeah, he had the highest score this week.
It was almost. If Dickey
awesome.
wouldn't have pulled it off at the end over there. Noah Fant gave him a strong 14 points there. If he wouldn't have pulled that out, it would have been the classic case of number one scorer beats the number two scorer. So we had a few of us tied up there. So the scores across the league are looking pretty close here. We have a good distribution, some highs and lows. You have your outlier with Mark, and then everybody else, you have a pretty normal distribution over here. Yeah, for me in that matchup against Nestor too, I had both of my running backs. I had 31 and 24. Jared Goff only got 26 for me, so that was a letdown. But
nice.
Yeah, Nestor's team definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Looking good and not something that I want to see in my division.
Gabe, any last thoughts on Nestor's team, Gabe? Just looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll switch kickers, or maybe he'll ride out the McManus. But I mean, if that's the weakest link, I mean, it's pretty easy to replace.
Yeah,
it's not like we're deep on kickers on our teams and benches.
Yeah, trading your kick around is never a super stressful thing.
But hey, Fairbairn's on the market. Everyone wants him. I mean, he's available for trade.
Check to see if the trade assistant gives you anything good for him.